In the previous guide, we had gone through the question paper and highlighted all of the key points from the client brief, as well as the actual tasks that were specified to do. From the start, we had actually converted the assets and so that they were in the format that was requested. Images were a PNG format, less than 300 kilobytes, and video was either an MP4 or an M4V format. Having completed this, we can now begin the task. We can now produce the website. From the Start menu, open up the program Web+. As we're producing the site, we'll flick between Serif Web+ and the client brief to ensure that all the key components are implemented. From looking at the client brief, my site needs to be aimed at college and university students, people somewhere between the ages of 16 and 21 on average. I'm also going to need 5 pages, and the content must be visible without scrolling at a resolution of 1024 by 768. We also need to include accessibility features for visually impaired people, and we need a consistent design. With those in mind, I'm going to go to the Web+ application and I'm going to choose a template. The site needs to be appealing to the target audience, and so I might choose a particular site which I think will work. I can choose the colour scheme that I'd like. I need a home page, a kitchen survival page and a meals page, and the meals page links to 2 others. So I'll choose my home page, and in this case I'm going to choose 2 article pages. My 3 main pages. At this stage, the first thing I'm going to do is save my website. I'm going to save it in an area that I can find easily, and I'll call it by the website title, in this case Grubblicious. I've produced from the right hand side my 3 main pages, but if I look at the client brief, I needed 2 sub-pages from a meals page. I've produced my home page. I now need to make one of the pages called Kitchen Survival. So I'll choose the first one and I'll right click it and choose the properties. I'll give it the name Kitchen Survival. And my third page was to be called Meals. So I'll do the same by right clicking, choosing the properties and changing the name. I could add the 2 new pages at this point. I could choose one of my template pages again. This page needs to link from Meals, so I'll drag down slightly until I get my linking icon. This page was to be called Tip of the Week. So I'll right click and change its name to Tip of the Week. And I needed one final page, and again this linked, and this one was to be called Meal of the Week. If I go to my site structure icon, I can see I've got my home page linking to 2 other pages, of which my meals has 2 further sublinks. And so from the start, I'm confident that I've got my 5 key pages, and my design should appeal to those between 16 and 21. At any point, I can preview my site within a browser. The client brief also included that the content must be visible without scrolling at a resolution of 1024 by 768 pixels. Navigating to the Properties menu and then choosing Site Properties, we want to ensure the width and the height are slightly under these two figures. To play safe, because people would have on their browser a menu bar and maybe some icons around, we can set it to 950 by about 550 and then press OK. That should ensure that our site fits into a single page without scrolling at the specified resolution. At this point, we need to start actually creating the website with the content that's been supplied. Remember, from the Assets folder, we've been given an info file. It's got lots of information which we can include on our site. It informs us that the facts need to be taken from this info file, and we can edit the text. At this point, we can include some of the content into our site. For example, we have initially a welcome to Grubbalicious and then some information. We can copy parts of this and on our website click into certain parts and paste special the content. We can keep it as unformatted text, so the text is included but it keeps the format that was on the site. And again, we can do this for most of the content that has been supplied. Copying and pasting special as an unformatted text into where we feel it appropriate. At any point, we can select the text and change the size and change the style, perhaps the font, all sorts of different things until we're happy with how it looks. There might be certain elements on the page that I don't want. I can simply click on them and cut them out. And with all elements, I can move them into certain positions where I think they work. I need to work through getting all of the information from the key parts that's required. The two main parts on the welcome page can be pasted in, and the format changed again to an appropriate style. As outlined in the client brief, it's important to maintain a consistent design across the site. One of the other key things to add are images. From Web Plus, we can simply go to our assets and our images, and I can look at the set that I've been given and place them in by dragging over into areas that I think look good. I need to make sure that all placeholders are either overwritten or deleted. We also need to think about the accessibility for visually impaired users. One of the key accessibility features is to use what's known as alt text. If you right click any of the pictures that have been added and choose Edit Picture, you can then navigate to the alt and title and include the title text. This will be descriptive for what the picture is showing. You can press OK. If you then preview the site, hovering over the image will inform the user what is being showed, whilst the images without the alt text remain as they are. And so alt text is a simple to improve the accessibility for all users. So far, we've included the 5 pages. We're happy with the resolution and the appeal. We've taken some basic facts, although in this guide I've done it much quicker and you need to ensure that all parts are done. I've added some images and I've looked at the accessibility features. From the very start, because we chose on a particular theme, we've also got a consistent design. The initial part of the client brief has therefore been achieved. And although in my example, it's very basic and needs lots of work done to it, the beginning part, the structure, is now complete. We still need to look at all the other requirements, including the templates, the banners, the navigation bars, the images, more of the info, specific images to include, rollover images, thumbnails, the video, and then an email link. But the initial setup of a website has now been completed, and this can be saved.